And you could also go down the route where you're looking like, all right, I know most likely they're looking for the Galio. I'm going to try and counterpick something that would be good into a Galio. Or you're just straight up looking for a takeaway because it does facilitate the style that Mad Lions is looking for in their composition so far. More CC applied to what we already know to be a death ball composition. And now the question will just be, is this Seraphine going to be a mid laner for Niski? Or is it actually going down to Unforgiving in the AD carry department?
We'll find out in a moment because Mad have to finish their draft with Alistar being picked up there for Kaiser. Tick away. Niski's chatting, so I imagine it's going to be a mid laner. It is going to be Unforgiven Seraphine, and that is Swain for Niski in the mid lane. Pretty safe blind pick.
I do rate it though, because even if Froggy goes for a facilitator here, that means that they'll pretty much never have kill pressure on you, post 6 at least when you get that ultimate to come through. But I feel like this one, we saw it coming a mile away, right? You saw the Camille, you know it's Froggy. Froggy on Galio is absolutely crazy. I've seen him flash into a pit to avoid Scuttle Vision to move up to top lane.
I remember that play.
He is quite crazy with how he gets the plays going and the flow of the game. So I'm interested in this one. We said it was going to be bloody, and so far with the compositions that we're seeing, this is all about the team fighting.
Does Froggy have any good lanes to go to? Oh, yeah, they have Camille and Amumu. That seems pretty good.
Oh, yeah. That is most certainly something to be happy about. Does he have some good champions to follow up with his ultimate? Oh, this is Camille. There's an Amumu. Even Maokai as well on the tree. There is a great lot of champions. And having Galio, when you're against AP carry, 2 of them on the opposite sides with the Swain and with the Seraphine, you're happy about that.
Definitely a fun... Gonna be fun in the 5v5, let me put it that way, because both teams are ready to team fight in different ways, to be fair, but don't think... I mean, I guess both Nara and Camille could do a little side laning, but mostly I think they're going to be teaming up for the big old 5v5s around some objectives.
But that's the thing, because, I mean, Saigon, they have the possibilities for both, right? Whereas Mad Lions, that's not really going to be the case for you. I think it's very crucial that Yoya gets going. Oh, and there.
Oh, that's so
very
bad.
good sportsmanship. Exchange of jerseys, and I believe Mac, coach of Mad Lions, have a habit of giving out the ties to the opposing teams as well. So very cute there. Just giving away 2 tokens from each team.
Now, of course, if Saigon Buffalo win, then he's like, aha, the jersey was good.
Well, that'd be a good way to curse the opponent team you're going in to play against. But for the sake of good sportsmanship,
Definitely not that.
That's not, what we're looking for.
That. It's very, very wholesome moment before these 2 teams try and come out swinging here in this best of 1. Mad Lions definitely been shaky.
That's the thing. Exactly what I wanted to touch upon. The fact that they've had uncertainties, and especially in some of the skirmishing setups. Saw it mostly exposed against RNG, and specifically against that early game. But outside of that, of course, they are still sitting at 2 victories. And now both teams 2-1, 2-1, looking to see who can get ahead of the other.
Yeah, it's going to make a big difference to the texture of this group. So obviously a pretty important game for both of these teams. Having a quick squiz at the runes. Nothing really jumping out to me.
Looks pretty standard from sides here. You see, of course, Eri with Unforgiven. And all of it is going to be layered in the CDR apartment as well with that Transcendence. That's usually what you want to do with the Seraphine as well. You go into Leandra. Oh, we've not had one yet. We had to have it happen. At least it's on the second game, and it's not Fnatic.
That's true.
There's still an EG game later.
There is still an EG. That's true. We'll see what happens there. We'll just vibe for a little bit here.
Yeah.
I saw a ward in Mad Lions.
Yeah, I saw Toggy get a little aggressive, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, seeing if they could look for something, but he went back out quite quickly, so I don't think he's going to be too fussed about anything. They're looking over. Just like they're looking over to blame someone. Did they spill water?
Look at this. Niski, the true facilitator. He is helping his teammate. He's like, you know what? I've been there. I've ult-tabbed out of the game accidentally. Don't worry, I got you.
This is, I mean...
Niski's he's a veteran. Very experienced.
They're talking to each other here. They're helping to resolve the issue at least.
There's also a ref behind them, so they're helping too. Don't worry.
I guess they do something too, yeah.
Whatever's happening, I'm sure they're getting it resolved. I don't have an update just yet. When I do, chat, I will pass it on to you. Once again, we do not hide things from you. Don't despair. We're waiting for the game to start up again.
This is where I miss Jojo the Eagle. Just to keep me company. Something to have fun with. I wish we had an animal for Brazil. Then they could have gotten a point over EU at least.
Ooh, what is... I'm going to bet... I don't know what Brazil's like national animal is. I'm going to bet it's like really cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, want to let me know?
What's Australia's national the animal?
Kangaroo, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Probably. I mean, so the Australian coat of arms has a kangaroo on one side and an emu on the other. So those are our like big national
Oh
animals.
yeah, okay. Definitely animals you don't want to meet in the wild world. I heard kangaroos, they just come up, they just want to box you.
Yeah, they're it depends on
really?
the breed of kangaroo.
You get nice ones.
Yeah, I mean like
Because I'm frightened by them.
so some like there's
They're
again,
cute when they're small.
Yeah.
But like when they're big and just jumping at you, that's
there's
menacing.
different like breeds and stuff too. So some of them are really big.
Yes.
And some of them are like more normal size.
I guess the emos are quite scary as well. They
Emus?
quite literally have red eyes. They are evil.
Yeah. We don't like to talk about it too much, but we may have taken the L to a flock of avians
I
back
have
in the
seen
day.
a video about the great emo. I have seen that.
Don't bring it up.
Okay, sorry. Maybe later for the Chiefs game.
We'll see. Depends how they.
It's going to be on point.
Emu Gaming gonna be playing up against the Chiefs later.
Yeah, this is a requirement in esports now. We are officially stating that each team has to have an animal involved in their name, and we are back
I'd be
into
down
the
for
game.
that. We are certainly back in DD2. Tag on Buffalo Matt, just a little bit of a small bump in the road, and Froggy and Niski already at it at level 1. My goodness, they're onto Hazmid nice and early.
This is good here. Late invade from Matt Lyons. This is something we saw a lot from them earlier in the ADC, and also the fact that Niski gets a very good start to that mid lane as well, just forcing Froggy's HP away, and he's actually continuing with it. So Froggy not having the best of times here, getting sewn away from his own waves. So he's going to need jungle attention at some point. The problem is, his jungler is going to be needing attention too as El Yo-Yo is taken away, and we have another one! Make it 2! How many are we ended up on today? There's 2 so far.
Less than 5.
Less than 5? Over and under. I'll take over then.
Oh, you're cursing us, but that's fine.
I mean, actually not, because that's the positive jinx.
I guess that's
If
true.
anything, you're cursing us.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, anyways, where did we come from?
So, back on Australian animals.
Yes.
So I believe the kangaroo and the emu are like general national representatives.
Yeah.
I think the platypus doesn't get enough respect.
Platypus is a deadly animal.
It's extremely deadly.
Yes.
Everyone's like, oh, the weird like duck thing is cute. I'm like, it is cute, but also they will truly end you.
I read somewhere, and I don't know if it's true,
Okay.
because it was a random place at the internet, but I read that getting stung by the platypus is one of the greatest pain in the world. Like, it's worse than pregnancy.
Maybe it's
I
very.
don't know if it's true.
It's so they're very deadly.
If anyone
Like,
has been
very
stung by a
deadly.
platypus, please at me
So-
and let me know how it felt.
So it doesn't happen very often, I think, because they're also very shy animals.
Oh,
They
yeah.
hide a lot. But if
So it's
for
actually
some
the human's
reason
fault the most of the
you
time.
want to mess
Yeah.
with this bizarre creation, do not do it. They will send you into the Shadow Realm. They are
Right.
so poisonous.
Fair enough.
Venomous, poisonous? I don't remember which one. I think venomous. Technically.
Let that be a public service announcement for all of you out there.
Yeah, don't do it. Platypus, adorable, but very shy and very deadly.
I mean, you at least have cool animals. I think Denmark was a national animal. Is it a stork?
Is it a
swan?
stork? That's
I have
kinda
no
cool.
idea.
I
Listen,
don't know.
this is where I'm letting down a lot of my countrymen here, okay? Like, I wish I knew. I don't. It might be a swan. I'm not sure.
That's a pretty cool national animal, if so.
They are deadly. They have...
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're not deadly. They're
Well,
dangerous.
yes.
Very I mean...
Teeth?
Yes, the teeth. I think it might be swans, it might be a different animal, but they have teeth on their tongue. Which
Ooh.
is there's a bird that has that you don't actually know, so you don't wanna mess with them. This turned into Animal what is it called? Animal Channel? Is that the
Animal Planet? Yeah.
Animal Planet? That's
Animal
the name.
Channel's nice. I like that too.
Yeah, I think I mixed it up with Discovery Channel.
That's fine.
It's what you get when you have two teams with animals playing against each other.
That's
Not
true.
much has been shown on the Rift just yet.
That's all we have is lions and buffalo.
Yeah. Give us what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal?
Nah, yeah, I kind of also just wanted the viewers to just spam the LoL Esports channel. I'm sure they need some content.
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah. If you're out there in chat, spam your favorite animal in chat right now.
Can we get a poll on the best animal at the tournament?
at the?
It's quite a few.
There are quite a few. The tree does not count. I'm assuming. Also, I have an update.
He's
for
a
you.
living being, but he does not count. Yeah.
Yeah, not an animal. A plant. A living plant. An extra living plant. Old plant. Anyway, the update is there is an equipment swap happening.
Copy
I'm
that.
not sure for who, but we'll get it swapped ASAP and then back in the game.
Looks like Unforgiven.
Perhaps his had some monitors yesterday. I'm not sure it's that. Maybe a mouse
Yeah.
keyboard. That'd be a pretty bad malfunction, I think. Not being able to play with one of your peripherals
Yeah.
as a pro gamer doesn't seem like the best.
We know he's playing Seraphine, but he still needs his equipment.
That's true.
Yes.
We saw Yumi hovered. If it was Yumi, maybe you'd be all right.
Yes, yes. Okay, I'm not going to throw the Seraphine on the... For the record, I play a lot of that champion myself, so it's a self-burn. It's not just me trying to attack a group of Seraphine players.
She's also very good.
So if you had to pick up an enchanter, I refuse to play a lot of enchanters.
Okay,
But if I have to play an enchanter, I'll pick Seraphine, because at least there's playmaking potential.
Oh, yeah. No, every time I see... I feel like every other game I see a Seraphine ult, and I'm like, that seems quite powerful.
It does. So the thing with Seraphine is that you want to play with flanks into her. That ultimate can only go one way. So if you're first on an objective and you force the enemy to go straight into you, most of the time you'll win that fight. But when you have a team composition like, well, let's say Saigon Buffalo's team composition, where the tree can come from the backline, the Camille can just get on top of your face with a Galio slamming down. Where to put that ultimate can be quite tricky, and that's going to be something to track as we're back into the game.
Swap complete. We'll have to save my favorite animal for an upcoming pause. We'll keep you all waiting. For now, we are back. It is 2v2 in the bottom side. We see Froggy having some struggles in the early game. Swain Lightning pretty good against these short/melee range champions. But Froggy just going to have to chill as Niski misses a creep. But don't worry, I didn't see it, so it doesn't count.
Sif Lightning, like the emo. But in terms of junglers as well, so far, Elioria has just come back to his blue side. He's taken away the Raptors and the red buff. And it's going to be curious to see where BJ is going to be making his move afterwards.
What about the transform? Husband trying to capitalize while the mini are still there, but Hyper going to proc. Deal a little bit of extra damage. Almut definitely knows his way around all these different matchups, even though he got counterpicked. Very comfy to be picking now here blind.
Yeah, and you can see now BJ has made his way into the red side jungle of Mad Lions, trying to get a few of these camps back. I do believe it's spotted by the ward that Niski had earlier, and you can see the movement now, like vultures, coming in on Mad Lions.
BJ also doesn't have Smite up just yet. It's close, but there's going to be a brawl here. Froggy also moving on in. You're going to have to try and protect BJ. Smite out early for a bit of extra health. But here comes the Amumu. In we go. Saigon Buffalo going to take the fight instead. And Alioya is going to get first spotted by Taki.
They wanted to defend their red buff. They lose it either way. And as you say it, first blood as well coming through. And that's what happens when you play into a Galio with massive AoE taunt. Good move from Froggy, and he's back on comfort. Taki even seeing if he can look for anything further. Very aggressive recall, but so far BJ is happy about this trade. He lost his red side, and he's taking away the red side of Mad Lions instead.
Very nicely done. Even going to leave one of the Raptors to be annoying as Froggy gets on out of there. Knows that it's not that safe as Niski aggressively TPs back in.
A-okay, and Froggy, of course, with that teleport, can always just respond back with it. Curious to see where the next point of attack can be, because once again, both team compositions are quite death-bally. But we talked about Mad Lions as well. We wanted to see Elioya get aggressive, get ahead on the Hecarim. So already seeing one death on him, super nice if you're rooting for the Saigon Buffaloes.
Yeah, we haven't seen that much of this yet, but you know, we've heard Inspired talk about Maokai in general. Like, Maokai jungle seems very powerful, but the obvious place to attack you is in the early game, right? Like, if you have a super aggressive jungle and you get invaded 24/7, you're gonna have a bad time. So it felt like the start was nice, because Elioya knows, he's like, oh, we can get aggressive early, I can split the map, make sure Armlet's nice and isolated and safe, and we'll be fine. BJ's going to be a little behind, he's quite a lot slower. And then that happened.
Yeah, I mean, the problem also arises that despite Niski had the first move, in the end, you're still playing Swain.
Yeah.
You do that, and then you just sit there and wait around if you throw a couple auto attacks out there. Now, stacked wave being pushed in by Hashman here, no support to having the move out right now, but they are looking potentially for Elioya. No flash as Ghost, but he's on cooldown. And it's just going to be fighting for priority on the map.
So almost level 4. Cosmed already level 6. Froggy with a nice little taunt. But again, don't want to take any sort of extended fight up against Swain. Good little pullback there. Maybe something here, but no. Not quite there. Froggy going to live.
And BJ does still have the flash, unlike Niski, who doesn't. Taki around as well. This may be 3 men ganging up on the Niski. It's not going to be the case though. Kai'Sa responds.
Yeah, good follow there from Mad Lions support. Froggy eating damage there, trying to get the wave pushed in. We'll get it in, but pretty costly though. No Niski, no TP and running low on mana. Means Froggy should be just fine here to take this recall.
Yeah, midwave is just going to reset here in between each other. Froggy's going to... he's actually going to cancel it. Looking to get at most out of this as possible. No minion materializer, so he's not going to be able to sap the cannon immediately, but in Niski, he's actually going to back. He's just forfeiting it, so Froggy, if he pushes this in, that's a win for him.
Yeah, nice wave to push in as well. No, he had the mana advantage, so going to force Niski to walk back, and Niski will lose a couple of CS as Froggy takes a very easy recall. So nice little trade back and forth, but overall that first kill, amounting to a decent little lead here. 500 gold to kick things off, always nice. But obviously, as we know from the Saigon Buffalo, we're expecting them to continue that at some point in the game. Nice ult there from Armut. Great flash out of Hazmet, but probably didn't want to have to use the summoner.
You can see that Armut hit the level 6, Hazmet just hitting it now. So that was a small window that Armut found immediately. Now BJ on the attacking side, on the bot side instead. Can come through that. Alcov if he actually sees fit.
No flash for Kaiser. Ignite back for Taki. That's probably going to give it away. As Taki barely gets seen. Going to be playing up and aggressive in the brush, but easy for BJ to get away, and now Mad have to play respectfully.
And outside of that little skirmish we had initially, it's been fairly quiet after that. Seeing that Nisqy had no flash, I really expected them to throw more tools at him, especially with BJ still having a flash on his own. That's a point of attack. It is still down for some time. So of course with bot lane pushing in, you can send Taki up into the mid lane, see if you can get any attacks coming through. So far it's about the top lane.
Froggy 6 as well, so if he can get out and infect the lane, that'll be nice. Here, Elgolia going to be spotted by BJ. Sapling doing a ton of work there as Froggy fades towards the top side to threaten. Mad know they can't really pull the trigger when Froggy's in the area.
It's a good read here by Mad Lions. They know that they want to look at Nisqy. They know Nisqy doesn't have a flash, so they might be able to bait them in. Taki sticking around.
Kaiser using the Hex Flash, going to be spotted. A bit aggressive there for Froggy. Pulls himself out of the way, going to be all right.
Kaiser did have the flash, but of course Froggy could have come through with his own one. And now we get close to the objectives where we usually see a lot of movement on the map. 30 seconds on that Rift Herald. Drake, of course, already up, quite tanky in the first stages, and Infernal Drake does do a fair bit. Not the most out of the Drakes though, but with a slow push coming through from top side and with the resets coming through, you can see it on the minimap right now. Taki is moving on the Amumu. Kaiser currently is still in the bot lane, and so is Alyoya, so we may see a cross map come through.
Yeah, eyes on junglers as well, looking for those 6s out of BJ and Alyoya, both big difference makers in their kits. Also 6 hit now for Unforgiven if he makes his way to a plate. And Nisqy just barely going to have his flash back up, but maybe they can make something happen here. Bandage Shot goes in, Nisqy going to take some damage, forced to pop the ulti, knocked around, buffed around, Saigon Buffalo, capitalizing in the nick of time.
Yeah, there you have it. They knew it was down, but Nisqy still with it up now. Didn't have the time to use it just because of the amount of CC that came through. And that Mad Lions getting greedy with the map state. They already allocated their resources on the bot side with Saigon on the top side. And Nisqy just on the wrong side of the lane there.
Instantly buys the Merc Treads that he was already going to buy.
Yeah.
But makes sense when you see the CC chain that Saigon Buffalo just dished out. Rift Herald for their trouble as well. Nice little play there. This should boost them actually pretty significantly in gold. Before the Herald charges, they're already 1,400 gold ahead.
Yeah, look at the movement here. If they can get out of this situation in the mid lane, they can move all of it up towards the top side.
Ooh, nice ulti there at Unforgiven. Good aim. Taki in trouble on the level 5. But here comes Froggy on the other side. Now going to try away interference. Ult sort of shadows through. So Galio trying to block there as BJ with a defensive Maokai ulti, trying to tie them up for a bit longer. Armut also rounds here. Ready with the Gnar. Hops on over. Q lands there for the slow. Froggy going to have to be sacrificed. As Saigon Buffalo get one back, Alyoya was too low to try and continue, but BJ now knocked around, and that's a kill for Nisqy getting some revenge.
Yeah, we call that a bouncy castle, but in the end, 2 for 1 and double kill over to the side of Nisqy. Even under that exchange, Unforgiven forced to teleport down towards the bot side as Shogun was picking up some plays for himself. But Mad Lions happy about that exchange. They could have lost a lot more on the map had they not found the pick there, because as we already said, Slowbush was coming through on top side. Having that Galio with a Camille and Rift Herald, Armut would have just been forced to forfeit the top lane.
Yeah, so that gold lead I mentioned, about 1,400, cut down to only 500, but there is still gold to be mined from the turret plates, and Taki is now level 6, so I don't expect the place to slow down, but this was a very nice job by Mad, even though Saigon had this first pick.
Yeah, so you can see they stick around to just get that support stack on towards the cannon. I get it. You want it so you can get the wards. And you also want that extra gold, but great ultimate from Unforgiven to come through, and despite Froggy being there to dismantle some of the AP damage, it's just not going to be enough. Then you can say with Armut coming around, this is still looking very good, but Alyoya dashing forward as he is here might be a bit too much in terms of what you're getting. You could have definitely lived and let the rest of his teammates pick up the kills. In the end, Mad Lions super happy about with the exchange.
Good aim on the skill shots there for Nisqy to grab kill number 2. Looks like Infernal Dragon's going to go over here to Saigon Buffalo, so they will get both early objectives. You can see the Rift Herald eye still there hanging out in BJ's trinket slot. They're still looking where that might go. Bottom lane feels like the obvious place, but still some time to make a decision there for Saigon Buffalo and make sure you get the gold event for yourself. But all said and done, we're even.
Yeah, and I mean, both picking up the first Drake, picking up the first Herald, in terms of objectives, you can only be happy on the side of Saigon Buffalo. They still have the next move as well on the map, in the essence that they still have the Rift Herald, so it's going to be up to Mad Lions to play a bit reactive now, where the productivity kind of lies in Saigon Buffalo's favor here.
Getting a quick look across the lanes. Hazmed struggling a little as far as CS goes. Did get that last kill, which is a bit of extra gold that will even things up, but about 20 CS up for Armut feels pretty good. Niski also grabbing 2 kills, feeling pretty comfy on the Swain.
It at least put him back in a good position after getting punished in the mid lane. Having Niski back with those kills obviously does a lot when you're supposed to be one of the big sustainers in the fights later into the game. And on top of that, healing reduction is going to be really key from Saigon Buffalo. Like, coming in as a second item, very pivotal when you're playing into a Seraphine and a Swain. And of course the Hecarim as well with the new W.
Absolutely. As we see Taki once again poking in mid. Seen him there a lot. He's constantly trying to cover for Froggy, and now unlocking Froggy to push the wave in and maybe set something up. But it's 3 Lions hunting 1 Frog. Justice punches out of the way, barely getting tagged by the Swain W, but Froggy's going to be A-okay.
Yeah, it does get through it. The only thing that they didn't have was their jungler was on the top side, so it would have been a 4 versus 4, but you can see it. They are looking forward with the rotations coming through. It is a battle of finding the correct skirmishes for your team. Once again, this is what the team fights facilitate. And once again, I do believe Saigon Buffaloes is a little easier. BJ could even look here with the Maokai ultimate together with the Galio, if they're feeling themselves.
Maybe a 4v4 though, if things do start. No TP for Unforgiven. BJ, poking a little too far forward. Gonna get ignited, forced to flash away. Taki looking for the angle, finds a good bandage toss in, but he didn't really want to take it. Forced to ult defensively. Galliwart comes back in, a massive knock up there for Froggy, but the damage is not there. Hazmed late. Now Shogun's here. Perhaps they can turn it around nice and late. Great flash for Armut to get out of the situation. And we're fine. We're totally fine.
I love these skirmishes. I love Mad Lions versus this team. It's so good with Buffalo's aggression as well. And you can see it. They're looking for the skirmishes. But the only way they have to save their teammates as well is by diving in themselves. So you dive in on an overextension from BJ, flash out. Taki dives in, let me get out as well. Froggy gets in, has to get out immediately as well. It's just CC for CC, and even Elyoya's ultimate was used as a disengage and not an engage.
Hazmed just fine there, but takes some damage on the back end out of Armut. Obviously the matchup will get better as Camille gets items, but so far so good for the Nut in the 1v1. Things will quieten down a little. Again, lots of punches being thrown, but no big blows being landed despite all of the attempts, as Elyoya here in the top lane. This looks like a coverage play, but you never know.
They don't have a lot of vision. Latest pick up by Armut. Here we go.
Our coverage is to dive. Great Camille ulti, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Just brute force straight through the enemy tower. Great aim out of Armut for the kill.
And there you have it. They get some plating on the top side as well. Initially, really good Hectech ultimatum by Hazmed, but in the end, the amount of CC that was able to come through as a follow-up allows Mad Lions to get aggressive and to get a gold lead themselves with the amount of gold plating they're picking up. Movements are coming through from Froggy, but this is just going to be to pick up the CS, and on the bot side instead, you can see it Unforgiven far back from the turret, but Shogun, he's not in a position to actually capitalize on it.
Yeah, not there for the plates. Wave not in the right spot. Now going to get it pushing in as Froggy going to stay in lane actually here for a little bit longer. TP mid actually. They're out of Hazmed, so just trading temporarily as Saigon are trying to overload this bottom side and get some gold back for themselves.
Has to be careful though. Niski could be on the move out here, and yeah, with members coming back around the turret, Saigon, they have to forfeit the play.
Good respect, but unfortunately not what they wanted out of the exchange. Still that first tower up for grabs. Bit of extra money there if you can get it. 3 plates apiece at the end of the day. So again, just good trading back and forth by both sides. Gold lead barely in favor of Mad Lions as I watch this dive again.
Yeah, so the micro stuff, of course, is the fact that the Hectic ultimatum comes through immediately. The unfortunate thing is that the flash and the E is not really synced up in the essence that it comes through with. So you can see he's gonna E and then try to flash out from the damage. But unfortunately, it's not going to be enough as well to avoid the boulder. And I do believe Red Smite was also taking on him at the same time.
Yep. Can't really get out there. Froggy with another good taunt. Shogun roaming into mid lane here, trying to get some poke happening. But it looks like Herald is the reason everyone's here in the top side, Gulbo.
And that's the thing, I was actually gonna say that Saigon's Buffalo's vision on the bot side is really good, but seeing as we're getting near the second Rift Herald, we kind of have to allocate it a lot on towards the top side instead. But that leaves open a weakness in the Drake that's also spawning in 10 seconds. So we're back into the conundrum for the two teams. Which of them are you gonna prioritize?
We got the TP out of Unforgiven on Saigon Buffalo's side. BNJ again in a dangerous turret spot in the river, but this time feels like your team's a bit closer, a bit more prio in mid as well. Gonna be a fight by the looks of things here. But Mad Lions starting up the objective, but again, every ulti ready here for Saigon Buffalo. They can pull the trigger very swiftly.
Yeah, only one missing their flash is Armored as well, which of course is one thing for disengage, but also for the ultimate from the side of Saigon Buffalo, both Hasman and BJ. But it's getting low now.
Yeah, they pop the ulti. They're gonna try and get the steal. They get it. BJ now getting in there, but Hasman's gonna dive on through. Froggy with the ulti over the top. Astaki can't find his way in. Great disengage ulti there out of the Seraphine, and Unforgiven has taken out the Camille, but Saigon Buffalo gonna kill on the other side. Shogun still alive, going away with the bullet time. Already popped it as Alyoya takes out Froggy, and Niski stands and delivers as BJ just has to dive in to peel for the AD.
And there you have it, Mad Lions. They lose the objective, but they pick up the team fight. Saigon Buffalo gonna get a bit too aggressive and throw a bit too many tools in something that Armored is actually able to dodge out. You could see it with the bullet time coming through from Shogun. Despite being the Hectech ultimatum, Armored was still able to jump out of the range before the Galio came flying, dying afterwards. I'm sure we'll have a look at it in the replay because that was a messy team fight as well.
Yeah, tough to follow, so watch it once again and see exactly how it went down.
So there you have it. Nice, easy and quiet. Rift Herald on the side of Mad Lions. And BNJ, yeah, he just walks up and just straight up smites it. That's the Giga Chat as he is that you can see it. Seen a few things come out from Maokai like that. And then when they get the brood on Maokai, Hasmet immediately recognizes he wants to go in, but you can see it there. Armored jumps straight out of the range from the bullet time, and it's a great ultimate coming through from Unforgiven. We said the weakness of Seraphine is when you get flanked, but this time around, that's not really the case. So despite the bullet time coming through in a good position, they're just not able to follow up with the damage and the kind of allocation that Mad Lions have with their own positioning.
Yeah, I felt like Saigon Buffalo couldn't quite get everyone involved, and in those kind of comps, when you can't sync up all the ultis, all agree on one target, really take out some key carries, that's a great time for Mad. Seraphine's just there clicking W, making sure the fight goes your way. Niski's pretty unkillable with rank 2 ulti out of Swain, and hey, a dragon to boot there for Mad Lions at the end of it all.
I mean, what I'm really thinking about is just how many kills are we going to be having in this game, because this can go back and forth. So far, not a lot of turrets has been taken. We've only seen the top turret go down. We're almost 18 minutes into the game as well. Rift Herald is in hand of BNJ, but in terms of gold lead, that is on the side of Mad Lions. So both teams have way to kind of accelerate themselves and try to take down these turrets.
Yep, second Herald gone, but now we can start looking at Dragon, maybe future Barons as far as where the next fight zones will be. We said it already, but for the most part, both these teams looking like they want to win through 5v5. So to your point, 8-4 right now, 12 kills through 18 minutes. That number is going to get up pretty high by the end of this one.
So I knew on day one, at least the highest amount of kills we had in one game, I believe, was 34. We're still not on track to beat that just yet, but we'll get there, and for sure, production can always correct me in the teleprompter if that is not the case. But so far, in terms of the map state, we talked about Mad Lions, they have the gold lead, and it's so much easier to set up your push when you're the one with the items. Mid lane gets pushed in, Ilyoyer's in a position where he can be aggressive in the enemy's red side jungle, and you're just scavenging it, taking away the vision, taking away the camps, getting the neutral gold they can on the map.
Yeah, double Leandry's there. Unforgiven even finishing the staff, has the transform almost through as well. We're feeling pretty good.
But here comes the Rift Herald play we talked about from Saigon Buffalo. They did have this one available to, might not even have needed it in the mid lane as, well, there you go. It was not needed, and they're probably not going to get a second charge. But either way, in the end, they pick up a mid lane turret, and they're going to be happy about it.
Yeah, better than nothing here, cutting the gold lead down a little from 3 to 2k or thereabouts. Also opening up space for them, which is going to be pretty critical, given that it looks like this game is going to come down to just big scraps for these objectives. Shogun with some good feet, dodging out of the way. Wants to try and keep this outer tower up for as long as he can.
It's going to be interesting to see how Mad Lions is going to approach this 20-minute mark instead. They still have a bot lane, which is decently low down to half HP with that turret. They have mid lane that continuously gets pushed in. And I think it's really just about setting up the vision for you to have a safe pathway to go back and forth and rotate the pressure around. Niski is on the top side. He has teleport as well if he needs to join for any team fight breaking out. And remember, Saigon Buffalo, despite not having map pressure, they still have damage in a team fight if they find a pig, a Mumu, Maokai, the follow-up from Galio immediately. You still have to be careful with the moves you apply on the map from Mad Lions.
Yeah, I mean, Saigon Buffalo, definitely a much more subdued game for them. Not the, blazing out of the gates early game aggression that we've seen from them so far, but definitely capable of stitching things together. We've seen them already try and punish a lot of moves and ganks. And Hazmat, again, continuing to show respect. Unfortunately, that means gold's going the way of Mad Lions as Armut takes out this tower.
Yeah, but here's that move we talked about from Mad Lions. You move back and forth, you secure the vision, and despite BJ actually having good saplings to at least to get the intel, there's not much Hazmat can do with that intel. He just has to back away from the turret. In terms of cross-mapping on the other side, Saigon Buffalo just doesn't have the wave in a proper state where you can try and take the top turret down. With the resets now coming through from Mad Lions, they will be able to catch it.
Going to be a slow and steady game by the looks of things here. Saigon Buffalo going to basically wait to find a fight that looks good, and Mad Lions more than happy to slow the game down here and continue scaling up with the lead they already have. Again, it won't take very many mistakes for this game to flip back over.
That's the thing. It's a game where it's like, if you get Camille shots down, then all of a sudden Saigon Buffaloes have side lane pressure to their win condition. Right now, Ahmed is fine as that side lane. He's a full item ahead, and that is really what kind of seals the deal for Mad Lions right now. But even then, with Vision being trimmed out from Mad Lions, Saigon Buffalo is quick to respond as well. Taki.
Fancies the go. Got to be a little careful though. Kaiser in reserve with the flash at the ready, but Taki going to get back to safety alongside BJ.
And now with the bot lane pushed in, that's where Ahmed suddenly want to say, all right, we already have one outer turret. Now I'm going to push the bot lane in. I'm going to move up to the mid lane. And that whole thing about applying Vision back and forth, that's not what we want to see reversed from this side of Mad Lions.
55 seconds till the Dragon is up. It doesn't seem like something either team is going to really rush to. Again, they've split the first two. They're going to be a long while until we hit that Cloud Soul point for either team. Right now, Mad is happy to keep sieging and try and trade back some more towers.
But you can see it, Saigon, they are anticipating it as well. Ooh, Taki forced to flash away there. That can be crucial in not having that Amumu flash ultimate. Froggy is on the side, he's looking.
Going in, Taki with a decent ulti ball time over the top is good. Damage is there onto Kaiser, but they can't get the kill just yet. Hazbin trying to complete the play. They found Niski in the midst of it all, and Saigon Buffalo found a pick out of nowhere.
And I can't believe that they actually get away with it. It looks so good for Mad Lions in the beginning with Niski and a stopwatch, but we talked about it. If you can get shot down on the Camille out of nowhere, maybe you can get some more sideline pressure. 2 minutes later, what happens? Hazmat picks up that shutdown.
Didn't even commit that much, honestly, to get the kill. I mean, a bunch of ultis and 2 flashes.
The Hectic ultimatum together with the Galio ultimate is still there.
That's true. Have some tools here. Obviously, Shogun's ulti and Taki's ulti being down might make this Dragon fight tricky, but they are going to go for it. Niski's not here for 5 seconds. They take the Dragon, they get away. They need to get away under from Mega. No, they're going back in. Armut! An error as they go back through. Hazbed now going into stasis there. Froggy diving over. Alioya's in trouble. He's going to be shut down by that Camille ulti that was still there. Niski back. There's a good flash out of BJ, and I think Saigon Buffalo fancy themselves a continued fight here. Slow down is good. Double up hits Kaiser. Froggy with the channel torn, and Kaiser with no ulti is going to fall. Niski, though, turns it back around. An unbelievable amount of damage from this Swain, and that's going to force the flash out of Froggy.
Oh, these fights just keeps going back and forth through the short cooldowns as well that you get with Leandrius, of course, on the Swain, and Niski able to pick something up of the back end of that fight with his ultimate. But once again, overreach from Mad Lions into that Drake pit, and Saigon Buffalo just waiting around the corner, hoping for them to make that overextension.
Bit of a back and forth affairs. We'll watch this one again.
You can definitely see what they're looking for. Ahmed, he wants to get the Mechana. He's hoping he can get it here before they commit, but the CC is just there immediately before he's able to transform. Good ultimate initially from Unforgiving to set up the rest of the team, but these stopwatches from Hazmat as well to keep himself alive. The fact that he's able to pick up another kill in this team fight, dodging out on the 2 Seraphine Qs with his ultimate. The micro you get from these team fights is also really what makes and breaks them. And with the make it rain slow that we have in the end, at least they're able to pick up one. Kaiser, he sees it, I have to sacrifice my life to set up my team. And luckily Niski, we talked about it, able to pick up one on the back end of that.
Yeah, Swain DPS is not a joke. Unforgiven also forced a flash there at the back end of it, and Hazmat TP'd in as Alioya's face saying quite a lot there in the player cam.
And that also says quite a lot on the player cam.
Very happy looking coaching staff there. Saigon Buffalo is still behind, but only 1,000 gold now. I'd say it's just about even, all things considered.
Yeah, these 1,000 goals, it don't matter much. Like, it obviously comes down to how these fights are executed right now. And, you know, they say a picture can speak 1,000 words. Well, these videos of the players and managers, coaches, definitely almost a million then when you see them this happy.
The whole series.
That most certainly
Bunch
is.
of novels. As Taki scoring up against Olyoya, still only level 9. Poor Amumu has been put in a tricky place, but Taki, no fear on the Amumu. Finds all the angles for the bandage shots, and Ahmed continuing to split push here.
Yeah, but look at the minimap though, because Hasmid is on the way down to Ahmed, so if he's playing too forward in the bot lane, he'll definitely be picked apart. Still teleports as well on Froggy, so no worries. If they overcommit on the bot side, he'll still be able to get back up on the top side should Baron be threatened by Mad Lions.
Makes sense. That's the reason Froggy is currently side-leaning. Sonya's done for Niski as well, I can see, which is going to make a pretty big difference in the team fight, especially when there are this many divers on the enemy team.
You can see it from Taki, just from the small movement he has. He's really feeling himself. He stutter steps up, just straight in range of that bandage touch, and kind of just forced him to say, go forward, I dare you. And it's this willingness to commit that's really been a strength from Saigon Buffalo, not just in this game, but in terms of their entire playstyle throughout the entire year, even going into MSI. So of course this team used to the international stage, but average lowest age that we have with the 19 years olds on the team, so the inexperience there as well.
And the thing about that to me, especially in this game, is how much discipline and patience they're willing to have in this game. We started with Zach mid and like way too many kills. That was the opening game.
Oh yeah.
Then we played standard draft, also too many kills because Shogun apparently can't stop killing people. This game against a very scary opponent in the Mad Lions, the favorites certainly in this matchup. Saigon Buffalo, like, we'll take the scaling team fight. We feel confident in our 5v5. We'll try and punish you where we can, but we don't have to rush against you.
And it's
We're
interesting.
just as good at you.
It's so interesting when you look at the two comps, right? Because they both want to fight each other, but that doesn't mean that they're doing it all the time. Saigon picked up the first fight and said, you know what, that's great. You kind of run away with the game a little bit. Mad Lions, despite having full team fight, also a little hesitant in terms of when do you actually apply that pressure. So yes, they both have crazy go buttons, but it's more about the awareness of when you really want to pull that trigger.
Yep, and also Froggy, you mentioned heel cut. There's Morello now done for the Galio. So they're going to do a lot of work against all the healing that you highlighted earlier. But again, these team fights going to be a lot about execution, if not solely about it. 35 seconds or so until we have another objective to potentially fight for. But Baron, very front of mind right now for both these teams.
Most certainly is. And you know, Cloud Soul in this game is actually one of the games where you don't mind it too much. Both the movement speed out of combat to rotate around the map, you can really see how much the movement on the map has mattered so far, but also just pressing R from a Maokai and running forward, pressing R from the side of a Hecarim, and even then the rest of them with the Swain. This Soul actually matters for both teams.
All right, we are going to have a scrap here for this Dragon. It's 2-1. Saigon Buffalo do hold the lead on the race to Cloud Soul, but Mad Lions going to get themselves in the area. Looks like Saigon Buffalo wants to retake prio of mid first.
Remember again, if you have flank positions against the Seraphine, that's going to do you a huge favor. But if you all walk in straight into that ultimate, you might find yourself in a losing fight.
Good Taki, just frontlining, looking for any angle. Hazmed kind of has a flank, but it's a little tricky with Ahmed currently guarding a choke point. Oh my goodness, Taki on a ward though, spots the control, it has to go back.
Good vision coverage by Mad Lions. Hatman trying to come around where he's not actually spotted on vision.
This is an amazing pit. Oh no, Taki! Barely missed the bandage shot, but they're going to commit anyway. Ball time goes out, and Hazmed dives in, but now Froggy moving in. Here's phase 2 of the fight. Mad so far looking okay. BJ in the front line burning down, but he's not dead as Taki also low. Elioya getting the kill. Mad Lions have found a way out. Saigon Buffalo couldn't quite sync up the engage, and Mad Lions will punish, at least with 1 kill. As Elioya with a ulti double kill.
Held on to it for so long.
Kill.
And they might even look for Penta if he's feeling himself too much here, but still, they get the mid lane turret here. Baron is up and available on the cards, and they're moving all of them up there. And a little bit of a nostalgia coming through here, seeing that fail of Drake fight and move up towards the Baron. We've already seen it one time this game, and this time around it's going to favor Mad Lions.
Yeah, this should be an easy Baron for them as well. BJ dead, no one really here to contest. They are going to TP in. Shogun level 16, but doesn't have ulti. This Baron is getting burnt so quickly. Can't face check either. Froggy going in, no chance at all of a steal. Elioya finds a smite, and Froggy finds himself caught out of position, gonna add another kill. Almost an unofficial quadra.
And we said it, the hesitation had been so good for Saigon Buffaloes in terms of when to commit and when to not. That time around, that kind of failed with Froggy feeling in a steal. And let's have a look at the team fight once again, because initially it looks like that Saigon Buffalo is going to be in a good position. Ultimate comes through over here, but no bandage touch connects on Elioya in the beginning. The follow-up with the ultimate are really not once again layered together with the bullet time. The only one who's receiving damage from it is Alistar, and he's already got the reduction on towards him. Great ultimate comes through from the side of Unforgiven. We said it, if he's not flanked, well then that B line or just straight line is going to do wonders for you.
And then look at Niski, just dives into the enemy team with the ult ticking, knows he has the stopwatch. Elioya just playing clean up at the end here in this 1v2. I like the attempt to go back in, but Hecarim far too strong.
And the healing as well. Conqueror proc fully, and then the Q coming through. It just see why this Hecarim is such a valuable pick so far in the tournament. And with the itemization coming through as well, Morph Mortius, Dev's Dance, it's going to take a while before you kill Elioya again.
Yeah, this is not the old build Divine Thunder into tank item Hecarim, which I know people have not been as fond of. Elioya definitely trying to maximize the fighter nature of the pick as Hazmed. Ooh, goodness, that's a beautiful looking bullet time. Shogun's found a kill Saigon Buffalo. They're so tricky. Oh!
And that's just out of nowhere. Matt, they go for an overextension. Saigon Buffalo, they've read them like a book. 4 members rather, down on the bot side, and they're able to get 2 clean kills. Niski on the top side, trying to get a second tier turret, but outside of that, Saigon Buffalo, they keep it close.
Camille, man. I just forget sometimes. That second part of Precision Protocol's not okay every now and then. Just slicing through Elioya, even mid-ulti. As the setup here onto Niski, pretty durable here. Nice little stopwatch to avoid the incoming stun. TP coming in, now you gotta run. Niski knows he's bought just enough time. He's got Rylai's, he's ticking away, he's got the ulti form, and Unforgiven gonna make this untenable for Froggy and friends.
MVP up there in the top lane. Niski 1 versus 2 on the Swain. Not had the best world so far actually, but in this game, KDA at least showing up, and despite his team taking 2 casualties on the bot side, shows up on the top side instead.
Good thing too, has to maximize the Red Bull Baron where they've still got 40 seconds left. Kind of got stalled in the bottom half of the rift with Saigon Buffalo finding some picks, but gonna get a little bit more damage done here in the top side. Do Saigon Buffalo have another flank in them? Right now doesn't look like it, but not many waves of Baroned up creeps left.
3 Drakes on Saigon Buffalo, 1 minute 30 seconds for what would potentially be the soul for them, but it's not so much picking it up, it's finding the team fight around that Drake area that really nets you the win. You could even see it when, despite Mad Lions losing a Drake, they picked up the kills, they picked up the Baron, and that's really what matters. If you're the one walking away with a man advantage, you're the one who's going to dictate the play afterwards.
Again, they know Hecarim is a target here. Hazmed is pretty powerful on this Camille. 3 items and a little bit of extra magic resist on top of it. Makes sense. Got to fight off this big old Swain and the death cap Seraphine. Unforgiven casually at 2-0 and 12, which kind of tells the story of how the team fights have gone. You said it. You flank Seraphine, she can be pretty useless if you can pick her off. The fact that Unforgiven hasn't died yet this game as these items tells a lot about how fights have been going for Mad Lions.
Yeah, and there's a few champions where picking up Seraphine Brace afterwards with the tier was a big no-no ever since that it was changed to ability haste instead of ability power. Seraphine, one of the few that absolutely loves that it turns into Seraph's Embrace that gives you that extra cooldown reduction. It's so potent with your passive, and the fact that you have ability haste on a shield that already have quite a big cooldown that you can lessen and actually fire off multiple times in a team fight, that's so big. And now coming through with the 4 fights and picking up that Banshees to keep himself even safer.
Yeah, stopwatch as well in reserve, so going to be real tough to find an angle onto Unforgiven, but Saigon Buffalo, if they want to pick a fight at this dragon, which would be their soul if they can get it, they're going to have to find the perfect engage.
Now coming in here, Mad Lions just have their fronts warded. They're lacking some vision on the left side this time around if Taki wants to come through. Same setup as last time, Kaiser aggressive.
First one to go, finds the ulti, finds a decent little engage, but BJ again, very tanky. Defensive Mount Kai ulti burnt though, and Mad just kicking them out of the river, trying to make sure they can take the dragon armor. Wants the angle, Taki flashes in with the curse of Sam Mummy, Elioya goes in, Shogun gets shoved up in a Seraphine ulti, but Unforgiven, he's on a killing spree and they just don't have the damage. Niski finds the skill shot onto the enemy AD, and the Mad Lions death ball takes over this game.
And the healing is just disgusting in this fight. Look at the health bars that Mad Lions walk away with after that one. Hazmed's still alive, but with these death timers, surely Mad Lions are looking to just end the game. They're scoring the wave, making sure Hazmed can take it.
Yeah, Hazmed can get the next one, but that's not the one that matters right now. That little cannon creep and the rest of his buddies going down mid lane is more than enough for Mad to at least crack this inhibitor. But there is more they can get as well. It is 20 seconds on most of them. Taki the only one up in a few.
Still looking for it here, and as you said, but 1 second here on Taki, he's there. 2 versus 4, what can they do?
Again, trying to make it happen. Taki no ulti, just has to throw his life straight at the enemy. He wants to clear the way, but he can't even do that. Hazmed level 16, kicked out of there by Kaiser, and Mad Lions only need a couple fights, but that is enough to get them the win here.
Gonna take us some time, but it gets done. Once again, it's not clean, it's sloppy. As I say that, Nexus, yes,
it's fine.
Does explode, goes
Everything's
down at
fine.
the end. We have it. And Matt Lyons, they pick up another one.
Weathering the storm of the Saigon Buffalo teamfight comp.